Alright, I know football is going on right now, so I can continue to hit you guys with these boring topics to get less views, because I know y'all, a lot of people watching football. I'm watching football too. But for the ones that can't watch football or is not interested in football, I continue to bore you with these engine rebuilt videos, part 3. Got some comments on the last video. 2 of you guys were saying, wouldn't it be better to go and get a refurbished engine, aka a rebuilt engine, straight from the dealership, because once again, you guys want it to be done right. You don't want to fool with none of these mom and pop shops, these third-party mechanics. You want it done right, but you don't even want Freightliner to rebuild it. You want to go to Freightliner and tell them, hey, I want to order a new engine. And there's nothing wrong with that. Look, listen to me, guys. It's nothing wrong with doing trucking the hard way, the most expensive way. Nothing wrong with it. If you want to take the absolute most expensive route you can to rebuild a motor, you can take it. That's why they invented American Express and MasterCards and Visa cards and, you know, all these credit cards that you can max out and pay people like Warren Buffett for life. You know, he get 10% of you for life. It used to be 10%. Now it's somewhere around 26% of you for life. Because you got to constantly keep paying a minimum payment for life. Because that's what you're swiping to pay it. You go to Freightliner talking about you trying to buy an engine. That you're not paying none of that with cash. That's how American Express, Visa, Chase, you know, it ain't gonna be no Capital One, because they ain't gonna give you no credit line like that. You know, that's Navy Federal, that's a big credit union. Usually not a bank. A bank ain't gonna give you no credit line like that either. So maxing all those credit cards out so you can then pay 26% for life. Well, I understand you will be able to pay it back. Don't get me wrong. Hopefully, as a truck driver with a brand new engine, it's just gonna take so much longer to pay back. But before you go swipe that credit card, let me give you another way to look at things. See, everybody is looking for the shortcut on the engine rebuild. Man, I ain't trying to fool with no mechanics, because if they don't do it right, you know, whatever the case may be. Totally understand. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Well, if you got a 12.7 or a 14 liter, let's just say 12.7, because that's what I got. If I go to Freightliner and tell Freightliner, I don't want, you know, I'm not trying to rebuild the engine that I got right now currently in my truck. I want to order a brand new 12.7. You know what the service department gonna say? No problem. We can do that for you. Give us the VIN number. I give them the VIN number. They'll get on their laptop. They'll start looking for me a brand new 12.7 Detroit 60 series. And more than likely, they're gonna come back with a price anywhere between, at the minimum, $40,000 all the way up to about $65,000. And if your credit limit is that high, or if you dumb enough to pay cash for you know, that amount, you can go right ahead. But here's the catch. You ready for the catch? The catch is they stopped making 12.7 Detroit 60 series engines back in 2003. 2003, they discontinued the 12.7 Detroit 60 series. You know what that means? That means Freightliner do not have any of these original engines sitting on somebody's shelf nowhere in the United States. All the engines that they made, all the 12.7s, the original motors, they gone. So either they finna sell you a rebuilt motor. No, they gonna sell you a rebuilt motor. The question is, you don't know who rebuilt it. And more than likely, Freightliner didn't rebuild it. Freightliner ain't got no core motors. You go to any Freightliner, they don't have core motors just laying around where they just rebuilding core motors and then selling them. That ain't what's going on. They gonna look on a third-party website, somebody like AmericanFleetInc.com, They're gonna go over to American Fleet Eat. What American Fleet Eat want 27,000. Okay, if they want 27,000, we can mark it up to 40,000. American Fleet Eat could just ship it to Freightliner, and Freightliner sell it to you for 40,000. And guess who wins? Freightliner wins. American Fleet Engine, they win. Freightliner give you a 1 year, 100,000 mile warranty. 1 year or 100,000 miles, whichever come first. And there's your $40,000 rebuilt engine. Not rebuilt by Freightliner. See, if you want the engine rebuilt by Freightliner, you would take your truck to Freightliner and tell them, hey, I want y'all to rebuild my motor. You don't want to do that though. See, you see this was wrong with truck drivers. Y'all always try to find the most expensive route. See, if you want Freightliner to rebuild the motor, you need to take your truck to Freightliner and pay them to rebuild it. You guys are looking for this already rebuilt motor. Just swap it in. Oh, okay. Okay. So you don't want no motor rebuilt by Freightliner. You just want them, the service department, you just want them to find you a rebuilt motor. Okay, no problem. No problem. They can do that. They can do that. As long as you understand that they discontinued the motor in 2003. See, if you want a brand new motor from Freightliner, you have to order a motor that they currently producing on the assembly line right now, like the Detroit DD15. You can get a brand new DD15 from Freightliner and know it came straight from the manufacturer with 0 miles, that ain't been rebuilt, ain't been open. Why? Because that's what's going down the assembly line. You know what ain't going down the assembly line? A 12.7, a 14 liter, a 34.6B, a C15, a N14. Them engines are discontinued damn near 20 years ago, fool. When y'all show up to Freightliner, I mean, you got to act like, just pretend like you graduated. Pretend like you got your high school diploma. Just think a little bit. If you didn't graduate, look, you got, take that phone, download ChatGPT or Grok, okay? It'll do the thinking for you, for free. It'll do the thinking on a PhD level. You don't even got to use your brain. Let's experiment. Hello?
Hey there, what's up? How can I help you today?
What year did Freightliner or the manufacturer stop making the 12.7 Detroit 60 series engine?
They stopped making the 12.7 Detroit Series 60 around 2003, when the 14-liter Series 60 became more common. It was a legendary engine, though.
If I go to Freightliner right now and I want to buy a brand new 12.7 Detroit 60 series, will it be a original motor or a rebuilt motor or some type of third-party motor?
If you go to Freightliner today, you're not going to find a brand new original 12.7 Series 60 straight from the manufacturer, since they stopped producing them. What you'd be looking at is either a rebuilt motor or one from a third-party remanufacturer. There's still a big market for those engines because they're so reliable, but it's all remanufactured or rebuilt at this point.
See guys, you don't have to graduate no more. The smart people, Elon Musk, Sam Altman or whatever his name is, they got an app doing all the thinking for you now. Now we all thinking on a PhD level now. Do you see how just that simple? I got that answer for free without the fee. Now, do you think Freightliner is going to educate you when you go to the service department talking about you want this brand new 12.7 that they discontinued damn near 20 years ago, fool? Hell no, they not going to tell you that at all. I know what they going to do because I've been trekking 10 years. I've been buying parts from them. I done spent over 100 grand in Freightliner, cash money. I know what they going to do. Third party, they not going to tell you that. As long as we learn it. See, as long as we learn it. So now that you done spent $50,000 on a rebuilt 12.7 engine, you don't know what rebuilt. First of all, you don't know what kit they use, because you don't know where Freightliner gonna get the motor from. And I already explained to you, Freightliner ain't got no cores laying around where they just, whenever the shop ain't got no trucks in it, they just rebuilding motors on the side. So in case somebody like you walk in there and want to buy a new one, we got this one we personally rebuilt. They ain't got that. That ain't what Freightliner doing. It's all third party. You don't know who's making the motor. You don't know what parts they using. You don't know. Remember, see, you could have got your engine rebuilt and bought you whatever overhaul kit you want. But when you let somebody else do it, oh man, I'm gonna let you know what I'm gonna give you an idea what they're gonna do. They're gonna find the absolute cheapest rebuilt kit they can possibly find. More than likely, it's gonna be highway and heavy, $2,200. They're gonna put that in there. You want the engine painted? They'll $500 paint job, make it look like it's fresh off the dealership runway or something. Sell it to you $50,000. They win, you lose, because you're a truck driver. And in this business, it's all about how can we make the truck driver stay losing? How can we take his check? How can we get the truck driver to work for free and not to fee? That's number one goal. You got Elmer Ford up there in Chicago, he working with the rail yard. They ain't paying him. I don't even think he make money to drive a truck no more. Y'all know the one doing intermodal right now, sleeping in the day cab. That fool, he's driving a truck for free all year. He ain't made $1. Shit. That fool, they just give him lunch money. They give him lunch money, and when he need a hotel, they may break him off a little bit more for that. Other than that, it's a sad situation. He could have made, I'll be honest, he could have made more money working at McDonald's this year. From January to now, he'd have more money in his pocket if he just stayed at McDonald's. Because Trey ain't paid him nothing. He would have came out better at McDonald's, Burger King, Kroger's, Walmart, FedEx, UPS, package handling. I know it sound bad. I know it sound harsh. I know a lot of y'all all upset with the words coming out my mouth. You need somebody talking harsh to you, fool, so you can open your eyes, learn something new. Yeah, you need to learn something new. Yeah. I just saved you $50,000. Hell, you know how many truck drivers will go to Freightliner and talk? Hey man, look, Freightliner. I ain't trying to deal with none of these mom and pop shops. I want me a 12.7. I want it 0 miles, fresh. I'm brand new, and they gonna sell it to you, and they gonna stick it to you a price. I don't know what type of ridiculous price they gonna stick it to you with. But if that's what you come in there asking for, they got you. They got you. Cause see, the cheap option was to in-frame your own motor, the one that's already in your chassis. You didn't like that because you said you think that these mechanic shops out here ain't qualified. You think you think people just out here, the business, these mechanic shops, these tire shops, they just all frauds, huh? They all fraud. You go get your tire. You go get your tire changed at Love's and TA. You pay about $700 a tire, huh? Because you don't trust the mom and pop. You don't trust Mego and Southern Tire Mark and all these other mom and pop shops, huh? I get it. The ones that's got the tire, $200, $300, $400. Now you don't trust that because that ain't. If Freightliner was doing tire change service, I guarantee you I'd be a bunch of truck drivers going to Freightliner paying $1,500 to $2,000 per tire because they want it done right. They want it done right. And then if somebody like me hey man, wait a minute, hold on, you done right. Wait a minute, do you know it's 6 lug nuts going around the tire? What do you mean done right? They can't mess it up. Either they gonna tighten the bolt or they ain't gonna. Well, Andrew, wait a minute, hold on there, Andrew. It's gotta be torqued just right. It gotta be torqued to spec. The lug nuts got to be torqued to spec, and only Freightliner can torque them to spec. All right, so do I recommend getting the motor from the dealership? Hell no. And guess what? Ain't no other truck driver gonna recommend you do that nonsense either, unless you are buying a brand new motor that they currently got going down the assembly line. Now, if you doing that, that's up to you. That's still gonna be the most expensive route. That's up to you. Ain't nothing wrong with that. If that's what you desire, it's your money, your credit line, and your future. All right? Me personally, I look at it like this. I go to mom and pop shop like I did with my $15,000 flat top. Cost me $85 to do an in-frame. $85, my bad, not $85. $8,500 to do an in-frame. The man in-frame my motor the first week. Just the first week of me running it. In the oil field. Gross 8 to 10. After deductions, take home $4,000. I'm already 50% on the first week. I already got 50% of my money back. The second week, I got a full refund. Third, fourth week, it's just all profit from now. Couple of months go down the road. Damn, man, I'm doing so good, man. Shoot, I got a bank account full of money, man. What's for sale? Hey, let me get that blue truck over there. How much you want for it? Cash? Look, I just dropped the cash. What they got in that C15? Look at this bank account again. Damn, I'm up $50,000-$60,000, man. Hey, rebuild that C15. I'm top to bottom. Yeah, rebuild the whole thing. Couple of more months go by. Like, damn, this money's still coming in off this rebuild, this $15,000 rebuild. Okay, let me get that Classic over there from the dealership. Yeah, where y'all located? Texas? No, I don't need to come down there and see it because just go and sell it to me. I don't need to see nothing with it. Just what you got? Got 12.7? Good enough. Go and sell it to me. I'll be down there sometime later this week to pick it up. How much y'all want for this car right here? That Dodge Challenger. How much y'all want for that? 20,000? Hell no. Look, I got cash. I'm a cash buyer, man. I give you 12,000. You'll take 12? All right. Well, go and give me that too. How much y'all want for that pneumatic trailer over there? You still working with the same rebuild that you pay $8,500? How much y'all want for that pneumatic trailer? $7,500? Give me that too. Give me that too. Give me that too. Give me that too. Seems like the easy route to me. Everybody's experience is different though. Everybody's experience is different. You know, do I personally know anybody who, I'm talking about people that actually own a truck, that actually rebuilt their motors or bought a new truck. I mean, not a new truck, a new motor. Do I currently know anybody who rebuilt their engine or put a new engine in their truck? Because everybody I know, they all went to mom and pops. Do I know anybody currently right now that the engine is not working because it was done incorrectly? Nah, I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody, you know. I ain't got no experience with that. I can give you some stories though. I can give you some stories. Red Top Rich, he got his M14 rebuilt, and he didn't do the injectors. Went down the road, blew an injector. Matter of fact, he blew the injector here in Nashville, Tennessee. I went up there and helped him. He was like 15 minutes from the house. And that was on a fresh rebuild. Blew his injector because he didn't replace it. Nothing wrong with that. Guess what? Majority of y'all think the motor gone. Because it did a little bit of damage to the, to the internal components. Got it back down to his shop. Of course, they did the injectors. But they just fixed that one hole. The one hole, because you got 6 different holes, 6 different cylinders, or 6 different liners, a hole, whatever you want to call it. Because sometimes I be forgetting the word. SoCal says sleeves, 6 different sleeves. They just fixed that one hole. It's like $500 a hole. Just rebuilt that one section right there. He ain't blew the motor since. Rolling, making money. Justin Lewis rebuilt his 12.7. Got around the corner from the mechanic shop, blew the motor. He did. Blew the motor. Had to get it towed back to the dealership. I mean, not the dealership, back to the mom and pop. Turns out, they did mess up on it. They messed up he said something with the timing on it or something like that. They fixed it, it ain't blew since. See, the catch is, if it's not done right, you're not gonna get too far. If it's something that they labor-wise, the truck ain't gonna go too far. Down the street before it blows is all I give it. Now, if you rebuild the motor and you put an old part on, that's different. Because the old part gonna give out whenever it give out. That's different. Like I said, Red Top, he had the old injectors. The old injectors could have already had 1 million miles on them. Blew one injector. But guess what? You can still buy new injectors and keep rolling. Then, of course, we got the girl. She rebuilt 112.7, then bought 112.7 from American Heat. Hopefully they still running. That's all I can say. If you see on YouTube, the truck's still rolling, ain't no problem. I'm going to guess ain't no problem with it. Who else do I know? Who else got a truck they rebuilt? SoCal rebuilding the truck right now in Las Vegas, DD15. So y'all will see how that work out for him. Everybody that I know rebuilt the engine, they still rolling. Just put it, they still rolling. All of them. So none of them with the Freightliner. None of them with the most expensive route. None of them. None of them. They did exactly what I recommend. Go get your own overhaul kit. Unless you blow the block out. Now, if you blow the block out, that's when you need another motor. You blow the block out, that's different. That's when the motor can't be rebuilt. Then we'll go look at other options, other engines to swap. That's when we swap the engine, when you blow the block out. But anyways, man, I'm 22 minutes in this video. Part 3. I'm probably gonna call it something else. Like I said, I understand a football game going on. One of y'all asked me what do I think about the foreigners not being able to get coverage as far as insurance go with these carriers. The insurances are not going to be covering the foreigners. Y'all asked me that. I seen Asian Ma put out a video. I haven't seen that video yet, and I don't have the news article on it. So I might talk about that probably tomorrow. I gotta go get updated on it, but quick thing I can think about it is, I mean, hey, it's not just in trucking, man. The foreigners got it hard in trucking or outside of trucking. You know, outside of trucking, them visas, Trump, you know, $100,000 a year. So they ain't got no job outside of trucking, unless they going into the farm or some off the grid type job. In trucking, we're getting rid of them in trucking too. Do I think the rates are gonna go up? Not for the truck driver, man. You know, rates for the truck driver, money for the truck driver. Nah, man, it's all about how can we, because truck drivers they try not to educate themselves. It's gonna be, you know, more money for the brokers, more money for the carriers, more money for people negotiating contracts, but the truck driver themselves, hey, man, look, you know, truck drivers we gotta get smarter. We gotta stop electing to work for free and not the fee. We gotta stop counting everybody else's pocket. You know, like Elmer Ford, he's sitting over there wondering how much the truck grossing and all that. He a company driver. He ain't worried about how he get paid. He worried about how everybody else get paid as a company driver. Goofy stuff, man. Focus on how you get paid. They pay you by the hour, cent per mile. Focus on that. When you're ready to get to the next level, that's when you start asking them questions. When you ready to get a truck, then you start asking about, hey, man, well, if I get this truck, man, or once you get a truck, or lease a truck, or whatever the case may be, well, he already leased a truck, so them questions should already be answered, how truck drivers make money and all that. I don't know why he the only truck driver I know that he believes that people run trucks for free. No, the only one, look, you run the truck for free. Everybody else get paid off the truck. They don't pay you because you don't design no money. But you ain't the only person making money off the truck. The owner, he not gonna let you drive that truck if you ain't making him money. He making money. You ain't the one that ain't making no money because you don't design no money. You don't design no money. Nah, you don't design no money because first of all, I got a minimum. If I go to a company job like just a regular company job, $1,000, that's the absolute minimum for me to work a 70-hour clock. $1,000 a week, that's the minimum. Not to match, the minimum. Y'all getting these $400, $300, $500 paychecks. I'm not a McDonald's worker. I don't work at Walmart. I drive a truck. We got minimums. We got minimums. I don't know what. Come on now. Shit. Even if I was leasing a truck, don't pay me no $16 paycheck. You get your shit abandoned. Right there, as soon as the Friday hit, you deposit $16 in my bank account. I'm going to park that truck with the load right there in the city I'm in. I'm going to Uber to the airport and I'm gone. Your number blocked. I don't care. You get threatened all damn day about a DAC report, about all that. I don't care. Cause see, when I own trucks, I don't care. I don't care. What is that going to do to me? Nothing. Fool. Other truck drivers, you pay them $16. I ain't getting no $16 and think you shit. I don't want to hear nothing about. Well, look here. It's $16 today, but next week it'll be out there. No, it's gonna be out there right now. Your goddamn truck finna get abandoned. Yeah, it's gonna be there right now. You can't do nothing with $16 as a truck driver. We can't go and pilot. Go and pilot. Try to get you 5 chicken wings with mashed potatoes with gravy and some macaroni and cheese. Get you a plate. And hopefully, when you get to the register, that crap ain't over $16. Don't add no drink to it because that's most definitely gonna be over $16. Just try to get the plate. 5 chicken wings, hot or spicy, macaroni and cheese, gravy with the mashed potatoes. And they gonna ask you for the bread. Get the bread too. Get to the counter, see if that shit over $16. Shit. It ain't gonna be close. You might be under it. Don't, that ain't, nah, hell no. Cause that's just one day. That's one day. You gotta eat for 7 days. And I done drove how many miles? 3, 4, 5, 6,000. Nah, you get your shit abandoned. Nah, I don't work for free. I do you bad. Oh, I do you real bad. No. That's how truck drivers should be. You send me a $16 check, don't even call my phone no more. You figure out where your truck at. You figure out where it's at. I don't know where it's at. You ain't pay me enough to tell you where it's at, fool. Hell is you talking about? Send me a $16 check. Shit. And then gonna tell me, hey, well look, your check could be better next week. Next week hit. You think the check any better? Hell no. Ain't no way you better, fool.